Tell us about your leadership style. I mean, how did you manage the committee? How did you think about working with up to 19 people around the FOMC table?
Well, my style, I think, was very similar to yours, which I would describe as collegial rather than dictatorial. I wanted, especially for policies like running down our balance sheet, that something that would take place over many years with changing representation, voting on the committee. I thought it's important to have a program that's understood by the public, that will get broad-based support when the voting members of the committee change. There shouldn't be a change in this aspect of policy. There were other things we did as well, operational decisions about how to manage interest rates, and the general notion that raising rates to a normal level, the new normal, lower than in the past, but that we should do that gradually. I wanted broad-based committee agreement. And to try to generate that, I allowed a lot of time for committee discussion. Many meetings we would try to develop how will we run down our balance sheet. And initially at meetings, we would have a lot of options on the table. And there would be go-arounds and people would express their views. The options, there were people who would favor options that didn't get a lot of support, and they would tend to see that. You know, I loved option number 9, but I was pretty much alone in doing that. And what I found was, it was great. Over time, people who favored options for which there wasn't a lot of support tended to shift their support to options where there was greater support, and gradually we narrowed things down to one and got complete agreement. So I guess what I do is I often compare the job of managing the committee to the issue a designer would have to face, who is trying to decide what's the right color to paint a room. And you got 19 people around the table, and you wanna come up with a decision we can all live with on what color to paint the room. We go around the table. Ben, what would you like? You think baby blue is just absolutely ideal. David, what do you think? Chartreuse, you think it's a lovely, lovely color. And we go around the room like that. And the question is, are we ever going to converge? And I would feel my job is to get everybody to see that off-white is not a bad alternative. And as brilliant as your choice was, maybe you can live with off-white and it's not so bad, and we can converge on that, and it's going to function just fine. And maybe we can agree. So I felt I was often trying to get the committee to coalesce and decide we'd come up with a good option that we could all agree on.